words if anybody's in here tonight. Showing, got called out to do snow tonight, so. Hello.
Where are you?
Arlington Auto Body, just doing these fire hydrants and cleaning around cars.
10-4. Graham to Brad.
Hey.
Hey Brad, did I leave a cell phone holder in that thing?
Not that I'm seeing.
It would be just to the right of the bucket control there. I was just in one of those cubbies.
Yeah, right beside the joystick. Little tiny thing.
Yeah, pretty simple thing. Okay, I'll just grab it from you later. Thanks.
10-4.
Should tie a string around that thing, Graham. It seems to be a common thing for you. Lucky I get them at the dollar store. They're only like $3.
Yeah, I don't know who's in here or whatever. It's just operating, whatever. So if comments pop up as I see them, I'll check them out. But if I see them. This one has to have one. Oh, maybe not. Fire hydrants, approaches, parked cars. any homes and buildings, businesses that have wheelchair access also required to be cleaned. The issue is this is the second shift of the year, and you gotta try remembering everything, where everything is. This is just the beginning. Oh, Christmas shoppers are going to hate us once we get down by the malls. Oh boy. Man, hard to see the wheelchair access signs. So what you're looking for are no parking loading zone signs. And then when you look at the windrows, you'll usually see a gap that's already been plowed once, which just makes it that much easier if you find them. Yeah, we didn't get much snow. Next week we're supposed to get, I think, 3 or 4 days worth of snow. So I assume on my holidays, as I planned on having some time to be working on saws and working on my side-by-side, or at least bring it back to the city, I have a feeling that is not going to happen. Oh, and I didn't get my coffee. Need my Tim Hortons, I didn't get it. Didn't have time to stop for it, get fuel, and go, unfortunately. And we have a huge route to finish tonight, too. Case in point, we don't have a lot of snow. That one's good. We don't have a lot of snow to begin with, so which makes life a little easier. Okay, that one's no parking. That one's no parking. Oh, fire hydrant! Fire hydrant! But we actually have a lot of snow and heavy snowfall. This gets ridiculous, but especially on Christmas, there's more traffic. Normally these roads aren't this busy. Well, they are to a degree, but not extensively busy. Okay. No, that's not one. Another fire hydrant. So since this is a one-way street, all the fire hydrants are off to one side. If you have a street that, like or a fairly large two-way street, there's still usually on one side though, mind you, but kind of depends. They all kind of vary a little bit. Let's turn this up a little bit, run this curb, widen it out. Don't hit the car with the counterweight. Nope, we cleared it. Perfect. Don't mind that tree. I don't think the loader noticed it, so we're doing good. What do we got for a sign? Okay. Aha! I don't know if that is one. No, that's definitely not. Okay.
What's the guy in the motor doing behind us? Just taking up space or what?
Came off doing my 7 to 4:30 shift, get a phone call at 5:45 to be at the shop ASAP. Start this shift again at 7 p.m. Hopefully we're not running all night. I will be happy if we're not. I need some sleep, but the bank account needs some love at the same time. The other thing you're trying to do, depends on how sharp your cutter bar is not to rip up a curb. That is a big no-no. That side has not been plowed this year by looks. Yeah, I'm not going to do this for do this live for too long tonight, just a short little bit. I might go back live again once we get closer to the shopping malls, because that turns into a gong show. If anybody ever thought snow removal is an easy job, I don't know who you're working for or whatever, but when you're working for the city, it definitely is not. I don't know if that shows up, but I got like 3 feet from fire hydrant to tree, maybe 4 feet. Other key thing is try not to plow over trees, rip up curbs, pop up manhole covers.
Manhole there, Gary.
Nope.
Looks like it's a lie.
That's number 3. Third manhole cover for the day. We just got started. This road is actually more specifically really bad for it because it's an old street, so it's got like humps and ridges in it. So a lot of these manhole covers and access, utility access holes or whatever they call them, they because the road's not flat and being cast iron and steel pipe, they protrude above the road, which just makes it super easy to clip them. Happens all the time. It's not uncommon. It's just when you do it, just hopefully you don't actually smash a cover. That would cause. If you smash one, that causes some mayhem. The city really does not like when that happens. That one's close enough to the road. We won't even fret about that one. What in? Oh, we're on the driveway. Okay. Yeah, so all I'm doing here myself, I'm just taking up the back of the crew doing deficiencies. Normally I don't do these. Normally I'm up with the guys, just pushing to do all the approaches and stuff like this. So with the deficiencies, for anybody that doesn't know what that is, that's just like stuff that got missed or it was a really bad job, so on and so forth. And so the company we're subcontracted with tonight, they drive around and check everything, and then also so does the city drives around checking the quality of cleaning and that. Some of them you get are really bad, super picky, and other ones don't really, they're super lenient. So I don't know which one we have tonight, but all I know is we got this big push, but thankfully not a lot of snow.
Gary should be changing direction.
So it's totally manageable to get this route done, especially with the surplus of equipment we're running tonight. The company I'm with, we're running, I think, 3 loaders or 4 loaders, and the other company's running, I think, 3 loaders as well, 2 graders or 3 graders, and we're running 3 plow trucks, I believe. So a road like this where it's 4 lanes, or 3 lanes, because one far right's actually for parking. When you have that much equipment, it's just delete equipment, just a single push, bada bing, bada boom, away you go, and curb to curb is pushed. And the nice part is a road like this, where you get single one-way traffic, everything just gets pushed off to one side this way instead, which also makes life a little bit easier. No, that's good. It makes life easier for cleanup, because then you have all, whether it be a left side or a right side, all your snow gets pushed as a windrow to one side or the other, versus other roads where you're like other residential roads where it's just a straight plow, so you have both sides you have to be cleaning. So like I said, we're just getting started. This is the beginning of our route tonight. So like I say, these one ways are nice, but the kind of the downfalls being old areas and old roads, like say you get culverts that stick up and all sorts of other all sorts of other wonky things attached to all this. That's the downfall to it. So, like I said, I really wish we had more snow so I could show more of what's going on. And so here, this light, so you got 2 lanes that turn left. The middle lane is a universal left turn. Turn left or turn right. The far right's a turn left only. So now this is where it gets interesting, because we gotta basically do like a big horseshoe. Like we gotta do this one way. Next street over to the left is another one way. So that's where we're gonna carry on from here. So like I say, like the fun part is now, well, it's all loaders, so we can wiggle and jiggle a lot easier, but the graders and plow trucks need so much more room to maneuver in. Oh, I didn't even notice that sign right there saying about the left and the right. Oops. So yeah, so that's kind of what's going down here. I don't know when we're going to the mall, but hey, that's gonna be a good time, because that's, out of all the shopping malls we have in the city, that is probably the biggest and popular mall. It's called Polo Park, or CF Polo Park. And you got that one, then you got St. Vital, but we're not going down there. That's not part of our area. That's probably the second biggest, most popular mall, but I really don't know how this is all going to go down, because like with all this COVID stuff lately, like oh man, it's not good here right now. So with all the shopping, I don't know what people are going to do, or if you're like me, you're waiting last minute to go shopping. Got almost everything done, so I was hoping to go tonight or tomorrow morning, but that kind of got backfired with getting called out to do snow tonight. So yeah, it's got the couple things left for the wife to get yet. I just don't know what. So we're just kind of like scrambling. Kiddos all done for and things like that. So yeah, so that's the Christmas side of things. It's going to be interesting, because since we got to do around the mall, there's going to be some interesting Christmas spirit going on tonight, I'm telling you that. And we're just like saying, we're supposed to get more snow. I think it's Christmas, Boxing Day, something like that. So probably get called out again. Boxing Day is really bad because of all the Boxing Day sales. I've done snow a couple different times on Boxing Day, and oh my lord, that is a pure gong show. Nothing but chainsaws outdoor, and somebody else. I can't. Sorry. The messages popped up and boom, disappeared right quick. I can't bring them up. I can, but it's kind of hard to when you're driving a loader and dealing in traffic and doing deficiencies. So if I don't answer any questions, please don't be alarmed. Nothing but chainsaws. I have not forgot about you. I got a big enough box, I think, for those 2 saws. I just have not had time this week as I thought I was going to. So I'm on holidays next week, and I'll see. As long as I'm not doing snow and everything, like, it's not going to take me long to do like a quick test fit, and I'll know right away. So if you're still in here, as soon as I find out whether or not that fits in the A box or it's going to be a 2-box situation, then I will send you an email and let you know. As far as I was also thinking for I haven't had time to do it yet. I was also thinking about doing up another hatchet and doing a giveaway, and I was gonna like put it up on my Instagram, like personal one, my ATV one, Facebook, Snapchat, stuff like that, to get it out. And what I'm thinking is that put it up for folks to like subscribe and like and stuff like that, or whatever, like to join this whole YouTube page thingamajiggy. And because I figured with this YouTube, you know, I went from like 40 something subscribers last year, and I'm at, I think it's like 107, I think. I mean, it's not a huge amount, but you know what, for me, considering just like a lot of other people, I never thought I would be trying this whole YouTube thing out, besides like my riding videos and stuff like that. So where I was going though with all this was for like an entry, it won't cost anything, it'll be free, things like that. And what I'm shooting for is like, say, like to try to attract like other people and new crowds and stuff like that to the page, but it won't be limited to only new people, like subscribers, like active, like folks that are currently like subscribed and that on my YouTube page. Everybody will be entered to win. I just gotta figure out on how to do the whole entry thing, because I don't know if I can open up a community section on my page. I haven't looked into it. Again, I just haven't had time. Just been so busy with like my full-time job, and because like where I work full-time, we're a manufacturing place, so like we've just been like for months we've just been hammering numbers, and and this year we did excellent. Like everybody's hard work and dedication paid off. So I wanted to get another hatchet done to at least show what's going to be up for a raffle, but like I said, I just have not had time, and I don't know, I gotta figure out how I'm going to do it yet, because I have one that I actually gun glued and it looks really cool, but you kind of have to be a little sensitive with how you use it because it is susceptible to scratching. I don't know how or what I can use to finish it that would give it a more hard, reliable finish on it. So I used linseed oil, put a couple of coats on it, but then that's what I discovered. I actually scratched it a couple of days later when I moved it. I didn't realize what happened. So I have a few ideas. I have a buddy that does powder coating. I just don't know what his timeline is, because he's super busy. I got another buddy that actually hydro dips and stuff. So I was also thinking about that, see what he carries for designs, maybe hydro dipping the axe head. But I just don't know, like say on I don't know what he's got, and I kind of really don't know what would be a universal idea that would kind of be applicable, because he's got all sorts of cool stuff. Muffler! JD, what's up? I'm at a red light. Ah, dang, it just went green. I saw the powder coat thing. Yeah, I'm thinking powder coat is definitely a viable option. It's, I just don't know what his turnaround time is, because he's super busy. Like, the guy powder coats anything and everything that you want. I actually got my tow 2-inch receiver for my side-by-side powder coated by him. Like they're the adapter for my radius arms and everything, and it turned out really sweet. Like all in all, like I could have prepped it a little better for the guy, but that was the first thing I ever had powder coated by anybody. So, but definitely an option. It's just I don't know if he can do multiple colors or single colors for powder coat, because at least with hydro dipping there's a design. But I could also go hydro dip with a powder coat underneath too, is another thing. What muffler? I'm in a Hyundai 740HX, I think it's called. So these Hyundais actually aren't too bad of loaders. They're very similar to the Liebherrs with hydrostatic and everything. They're just made by Hyundai. It's the only difference. The hydrostatic I find is a nice thing to have sometimes. Perfect. That one's already clean enough. When it comes to pushing heavy, traction's an issue. hydrostatic, hands down, where you can control how much power is going to your wheels, is definitely a great option to have. But back to that axe thing though, before I have many more squirrel moments, because this happens on a regular basis. So that's what I was thinking for like new subscribers and everybody that's already subscribed. Everybody's eligible. It's just I have to figure out a way how I can make it so everybody can enter, right? And then leave it run for maybe a month or something like that, just to give it lots of time. Yeah. So that's what that was one of the things I was thinking. I wish I had a ported saw to go towards the guys that are into power saws and stuff. See, like, I thought with the hatchets.
This guy behind me isn't doing a freaking thing, following us.
The guy with the hatchet, anybody or most people can at least use a hatchet. I mean, whether you are, having bonfires, into wood cutting, into camping, into in the ATV world too, like there's almost never a time I don't have a hatchet with me in my machine, because you just never know when you're going to need one. When I know we're having fires though, I'll definitely carry like a saw and like my 2-pound or 2.5-pound axe plus a hatchet. So I just figured a hatchet would be kind of cool. I have not. The only ones I've done the same actually were the ones that donate for hopper stock. Those are the only 3 that I've done the same, just because like just so that it's like fairly uniform. The one I have actually done it for bellhopper. I haven't posted any of those videos. There's like only a couple of people have seen the pictures of it. But that thing looks freaking sweet, and I gotta get like when I got time, I gotta mail it out to them. So that's a little close to my counterweight there, bud. But that's gonna be a sweet little hatchet. And I still gotta do one for Tasman yet too. So that's another thing I'm not going to discuss, because I don't know who's in here, who's not. I can't see anything besides numbers and a screen. Man, this ground is not frozen yet. It's almost the end of December, and you're still pitting the mud. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, like I say, like, I love to get to like the stage where like even Tasman is, like with 1,000, because that's freaking awesome. Like I'm like new to his page and stuff like that. So, but like I've seen him grow from, was it 800 and something subscribers, I believe, to out of nowhere, boom, he's at like, well, I think it said like 1.05K or something like that. And it's kind of cool watching everybody's channels grow, and that's kind of like, that's kind of where I got the thing, like, maybe I'll give this whole YouTuber thingy-majiggy an honest try, like, because I'm not gonna lie, my ATV videos I've met through messaging anyways, and discussed possible places to ride with some other folks down the States. But since I can't go to the States, that kind of put a damper on that idea. But some of them can come up to Canada, which is cool. But since I started posting some of the chainsaw stuff, it's been getting a lot more, it's been like getting a lot more hits and stuff. It's picking up interest with people. And so that's why I started doing like MS260 stuff, 026 stuff, things like that, is because I was kind of searching around a bit, and I've seen that there's not a lot of people doing it, like doing those saws. There's a couple I've found. You find stuff on all sorts of saws, regardless, but like what you would call there, like Buffer, for example. He loves all his old saws, but he seems like his Max, his Pioneers, and then you got Bellhoppers, same ordeal, into the Huskies and stuff. You got Buck and Billy, that's huge Mac guy. You got Tin Man that, you know, like, he kind of tinkers with everything. But he specializes more in the Husky world, and he seems to be doing dang good with his homemade stuff. Like I haven't had a chance to watch his new homemade video there, but that last homemade he did, yeah, that took some tries, but man, that thing just rips. The one that he did for Bucket last year. So I figured that's where I'm going to, you know what, maybe that's where I should start, because I got 3 260 026s. I got 3 of them sitting on my bench right now. Like, I got my personal one, which is I got to do a little more tweaking on, but I think I'm pretty much at the end with it, but I'm getting close. Not totally happy where I'm at with it, but it's getting there. And then I posted an MS260 versus 026, and that MS260 is actually the top end I'm doing for Tasman. So the timing numbers are like way different. I guess not night and day different, but there's definitely a difference in there where it has a lower exhaust groove, so it's not as zippy as mine. But between sorry, I'm trying to do this. So the intake is all, I can't remember off the top of my head, I think it was 1 or 2 degrees difference. The blowdown though was different by, I think it was also 2 degrees. But it's funny because like my 44 mil 26, like you wrap on that thing, it goes. Whereas the MS260 top at that 44.7, it goes too. It's not as zingy, but they're like pulling like very similar torque. Like the way they feel in the wood is very similar. So I want to try to, because I got another MS260. Oops. Actually, I got two MS260 cylinders. One's not in bad shape. It's not the greatest, but I was able to salvage it. And the other one is in good shape, and Tasman's is in good shape. And so I don't know which one of the other 2 non-ported ones I'm going to go at yet, but I'm going to try and do the numbers like I have on my 026, but try to keep the blow down where it's a little bit, just a couple degrees higher, like it is on the on Tasman's cylinder, and see where that brings me. Since I have cylinders, I can rip up a bit, where to me it doesn't matter. So I'm kind of curious how zippy and torquey can I make it, because a buddy of mine in Ontario, our port numbers are similar on the 026s. His pulls ridiculous RPM, but he hasn't tried it on a 24-inch bar, but it cuts like a madman with an 18 or 16 on it. So, but since I run 24 on mine full time, and I know Taz was talking, he wants to run 24 on his too, so I want to try to keep them close, but keep them as zippy or torquey, like a combination of the both as I can possibly get out of them. Because I don't have a lathe, so that is one. What do you call it? Like one thing against me here. So, but I had to cut the squish band in his, where mine with a base gasket delete. With Moto Seal, I netted, I think it was like 17 thou squish, whereas with the other one, I actually had to cut the squish band the old school sandpaper way, made a round circle adapter to put into my drill, and just eased into it. And then that netted, I think it was like 18 thou squish, I believe. And then with Moto Seal, I'm sitting at around 20 thou, which I kind of prefer that number over 17. Just to give me some, just some breathing room as it gets hot, expands and everything. But key things are, though, there's a lot of differences in the same time. Lower transfers have been done differently between the two. The intake shape. Shape is also a little different, which I'm going to by default, I'm actually going to integrate that into this MS260 cylinder. Because
real wide there, 2 cars slid in between me and Gary, like up along the side.
holy Hannah. Because it, like on the 026, when I did that, there was a night and day difference. Like, I went from, you know, pulling a 24-inch bar with some torque to this thing's just plowing through, like, the cottonwood that I have. And why cottonwood? My dad is a chainsaw carver, and he loves carving with basswood and cottonwood. And not just him, it's just chainsaw carvers in general seem to love those woods. It's part of the, is it the poplar family, I believe it is. So a lot of people like them, so that's why I end up getting all these bigger pieces, because I'm always hunting and searching for that type of wood for them. And I got some bigger oak, not big, but I think it's like 22 inch or whatever. And right now everything's just getting tested pretty fierce, because everything's still wet and it's frozen. Nothing is seasoned yet, so that's why my tests have been all the big stuff and just sending her. Okay, I got a red light. I'm gonna see if I can pop up these messages again here from you folks. Gotta get 500 subs to get community. Okay, good to know there, Muffler. JD, what's up, JD? Rally Sport, if you're still in here, I like it, but I'm kind of thinking this might be my last winter doing this. The Home Light Smitty built Tasman will hand that Tin Man's. You know, Muffler, I'm curious, man. You know what? I love, like, I'm sorry, I'm not like some of the other folk that, you know, like, oh, well, you know, like, how do you, trying to be nice about everything. You know what? I'm curious. If two saws are run, like, do you want to run two saws against each other? It is what it is. Whoever's faster is plain and simple faster. You know, everybody's got a different way they build everything, right? Like, you know, like, person A builds a badass freaking rip-roaring saw, but, you know, but person B happens to find a little sweeter spot in that saw or whatever, or being able to push a little more out of that saw. Like, freaking great. Like, you know, like, all the power to anybody and everybody. Oh man, I wish I could put a camera on my backup camera. Like, oh my frick. The one thing I like about being bigger than everybody, this is the one thing I've learned in snow, is you're bigger than everybody, they gotta move. Because you can't get ahead of your plow, or you can't get too far behind your plow trucks or graders and stuff like that. Like, you gotta give her. You gotta keep up. But, like I say, doing deficiencies, thankfully, I am on turtle mode with this stuff. Oh my gosh, come on, folks. Sorry guys, I'm looking over my shoulder here instead of talking. I'm trying to find a break in traffic. Like, I got headlights for blocks upon blocks behind me. So, yeah, no, I mean, like a neighbor of mine too, because like I kind of got him into the more of the hands-on of the let's port some saws stuff, and he's just starting out too, and so like he's got a couple 266s, and then a 61, and I got I'm just waiting for my cylinder to come back for my 162, and then we're going to compare, see how things go, comparing the 61 to the 162 once we port them, because like he has his way of doing it and I got my way of doing it, and like I know it's not for everybody, but like I like the timing wheel thing, because then I can like dial in and tune, or you know, like I said, I know it's not for everybody, it's just my thing though. So, you know, like somebody else doesn't want to use one, totally up to them. Great. And that's what my buddy is too. Like, he doesn't use one. He wants to learn how to use one, but I'm usually using mine for something, so it's not usually freed up. But like his 61, like, it rip roars. It pulls mad RPM, but he's lost a bunch of torque. So he's gonna go back into that one and kind of do a little more fiddling with it and see what he can do to rectify that. Looks like one of my coworkers over there. Yeah, so I almost ordered, and I am going to order a 272 top end with a pop-up. So I got a couple cases at home. Uh-oh. Sounds like an accident. But yeah, no, because I got a couple bare cases sitting at home. Just they need to rehome, or not rehome, but they need to find a roof over their head, so to speak. So that is one of my other projects this winter. But this holiday, I was planning on redoing my 200T 025 as well, and do some more work on these these other, like the 260 026. So, but then I got called out for snow, and with the forecast for all this other snow, I don't know how this is going to go yet. So we'll see. I had plans on, like say, doing more saw content stuff. I got a bunch of videos to edit too. I actually also have a bunch I have to make public. I haven't made that far. It's hard to find time for everything here. So yeah, so that's basically it. Besides doing snow, the last day of work was today at 4:30 for now Christmas holidays, and yeah, so we got like the week off. We got some good bonuses this year. Markets were good. Our production numbers were up there too, and it was a solid team effort this year, so that was good. And so we got rewarded and whatever else. We've had so many like shitty years. It's just how the scrap industry is. It's all market based. And as shitty as this whole COVID thing's been, is actually in the scrap industry, it's actually benefited people, which is good. Can't complain there one bit. So, okay, bus stop, crossing. Whoa! Somebody creamed a curve. And it was not me. Luckily I got the bucket on the ground fast enough. Now that will be the sidewalk plow issue. Oh man, yeah, so I want to do 272. I was going to do the 272 on my 162 chassis, but I acquired these other like 61, 266 bodies, so I just figured, you know what? My 162, it came out of a scrap pile, it's all original. So I'm not going to hack and slash. Well, I'm going to hack it, but I'm not going to like hack and slash it per se by changing the top end going to a 272. So I'll just use one of my other cases I got going there, and I will use one of those instead for it, and keep the 172 or the 162 getting ported. So it will still, but it'll still have the OEM cylinder, OEM piston, as long as I didn't fry the piston in my boarding. I might have did a little too much funny stuff to it, but we'll see. Yeah, so I was going to pick up a wood cutting permit too for to go pick up some loads there over the holidays, but man, I don't know what's going to happen with work, so I don't know if I'm going to spend the money on that. So I think it's like $75 for 10 cords. Certain species of woods, depending on where you're cutting as well. So $75 for 10 cords really is pretty cheap. If you buy processed wood here, holy cow, that's big money. Like a quart of softwoods poplar, birch, pine, stuff like that. Like guys want, like if you find a cheap person, you're looking at like, I think it's like 200, 250 bucks. That's if you find somebody cheap. If not, if you find the average person, like you're looking at like all the way from 250 upwards to about 350 bucks for a cord. And I'm not kidding. Like, you go check Facebook or Kijiji for actual softwood cords. Yeah, they're like that much. I swear to God, they're just COVID priced. But hey, I mean, what do I know? Definitely not a wood salesman. Would that be a beaver? Wood salesman? But yeah, hardwoods even more. Like hardwoods are like 350 all the way to about 450 bucks.
People get pretty nervous when you start backing up.
For like say like, well, we don't have fir here, but like your oaks and ash. I think maple, I think, is a hardwood, isn't it? Like I'm not a big tree person. I just love saws. I love running saws. Love having fires at least when I can, stuff like that. So come on, folks. There you go. I was gonna say, yeah. So I just can't believe the price of lumber's like, or not price of lumber, price of cut split firewood here. So, but to go out and cut 10 cords, I don't have a trailer big enough to do that, and I don't have a truck. So it'd be like me and a buddy going and cutting it. My little trailer only holds like at best half a cord. It's like, what is it, 5x7 trailer with 1,500 pound axle, so it doesn't hold a lot. But it holds enough to, you know, to make a trip. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure we can pick up probably between his truck and my trailer. I'm pretty sure we can get somewhere in the area of like close to a cord, a little better than a cord of wood roughly. But we have to drive over an hour. Well, depends which cutting areas we go to. Some are about an hour from home. Some are about an hour and a half. And when we have a whole bunch of them, but they rotate where you go cutting. Like where the zones you can cut in and stuff like that. So sorry, just now I'm doing approaches here. So yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Go out, go run some saws. I got another buddy I'm supposed to go cut some oaks for. Actually, that's one of the 260s are actually for him as well. And so one of my ported cylinders is actually going to be going to him as well. Well, onto that saw. It's I just don't know what parts are going to get here. I ordered bearings, seals, all your typical rebuild stuff. Ordered all that, so it's coming. In Canada here, I just don't know when it's coming. I want to get a molly coated piston for my 026, but the last one I ordered from Duke, it was oh man, the duty was killer. Like the duty was as much as the piston. So as much as I'd love to get a molly coated, I don't know if I'm going to go that route. It's a bad purple living in Canada. Like we get hit hard with duty charges and import fees and all that stuff. Like I swear the government does not want people to have a free ride. So sorry if it's loud. Just pushing up the medians or these whatever they call them. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I say, that's what I want to do, but we'll see. I might just order a highway from this Canadian site that I deal with, and because everything's already, all the pricing's integrated into that already. So like all your import and shipping fees, import duties, all that. So like I said, I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet. Because I also have to dump a bunch of money into my side-by-side for next year. Hopefully I can get some more riding in next year. this year's just been horrible. Sorry, I'm like looking behind me, beside me. I'm dealing with intersection traffic at TZ over here where I am. So heavy traffic. Whatchamacallit there? So, yeah, because I got my rack and pinion I got to replace on the side-by-side. I got bushings to replace. I want to change out tires, put some 32s or 34s back on there, but I want to do it with truck tires this time because of the thicker sidewall, less chance for punctures and stuff like that. Some people, but yeah, so that's on my to-do list. I want to didn't get riding last year. I got out on May 1st, got out again just May 1st, early September, and then this is why one of the things I hate about snow. And then I got out at the end of October to go scouting for deer. That's been it. Just been, off-road travel ban. So because we've been in a drought here, forest fires galore. It's been a really bad year. So that off-road travel restrictions has been a thing for mostly almost all summer. May 1st. I think it got lifted for like 1 week there at one point. Got lifted at one point there for about a week and then on again for the rest of the year, so never had a chance to get out. So I'm hoping next year we can make some more time. Want to drop maybe some audio in there too, because my exhaust is so loud. Straight piped 3-inch exhaust from the turbo all the way to the tail, all the way to the tailpipe. Jeez, it's loud. It's a 900 triple, sitting around 210, 215 horse roughly. So she's got to get up and go. She just is super loud. So that's why I was thinking about doing some tunage. And if you ever need a reason to not ever get a ticket and drive in the wrong lanes of traffic, do store clearing. There's no limitations. I'm telling you. The only limitations are the people that are afraid of your big loader. See? The bigger you are, they get out of your way. It is a true fact. I don't know who this dude is, but thanks for helping. Now, you ever drive the wrong way down traffic? There is an intersection I'm backing up to. I will get to it eventually. It's about 100 yards away. Sorry, I gotta pay attention here. Come on there, bud. And if you're going across, and I'm spinning around. And that is how you get away with driving down the wrong way on the street. Getting a snow removal. And then you end up with a case like this, and now you're in a traffic jam. It happens. Oh man. Another thing I don't like about doing snow around Christmas is the traffic. It's not just a pain in the butt, like trying to maneuver. It's just a pain in the butt because you gotta wait and wait and wait. Oh, what is all up on here? Holy cow, I've been like live for an hour already. Holy Hannah. So what's everybody else up to? Is everybody ready for Christmas? Are you done shopping? Buying for the wife, buying for the kids, buying for yourself, or a combination, a little bit of everything? Hope everybody's ready. So I know our year got kind of a little mangled up. Family or father and mother-in-law were supposed to be coming in, but because of COVID and all the restrictions and some of the lockdowns are starting up again in some provinces, that they ain't coming. So, okay, seriously, I need more room there, bud. So either go around me. There you go. Got it all figured out there, Twinkle Toe. I swear I'm gonna have to start putting on my rear cab lights. So yeah, so the family-in-law there was supposed to come in, but unfortunately they can't now, because if they come here they have to self-isolate for 14 days, and then when they go back home, then they have to do it all over again for 14 days. So it doesn't make sense because they still work and stuff. So it doesn't make sense to come here and go back just to do it all over again. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Not much we can do about it. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to bugger off. Let these plow truck boys come in through here. And I'm going to scoot a couple of streets. Scoot a couple of streets. Oh, hey, there's the beer vendor. Good thing I don't really drink. At least not anymore. I used to drink like a fish, but I had to stop that. That was a whole different series of personal life problems, that one. But, well, I won't say I stop, but I mean, don't do it too often anymore. We had a Christmas party last weekend at the house, and I think I had maybe 4 drinks in like 6 hours. Everybody was up later than I was, though, because I had that whole chainsaw adventure, shopping at dealerships type of ordeal there. So still went to bed late, but not as late as others. So, oh man, I need me a coffee, but I ain't got no Tim Hortons around until we stop for lunch. Probably around midnight, 1 o'clock. Come on there, folks. Snow clearing. Let's talk about snow clearing for a few minutes too. So, with snow clearing, every year is different. This year, I've had a couple of buddies contact me and whatnot to if I can come do snow with the companies that they work for. I had to decline because of I work for this company. This company here was the first company that actually gave me a chance to do snow removal, even though I know it doesn't take the sharpest knife in the drawer to do this, but it's hard to actually find good operators that aren't going to, say, hit vehicles, rip up curbs, do a bunch of collateral damage and cost the company a bunch of money. So where I'm going to go with this is, if you ever decide to get into snow clearing, be prepared for long hours. Some places pay better than others. This place, like I said, because they gave me the chance to do snow removal with them, and they're a fairly big, not a huge company, but they're like a decent sized company, and like they have newer equipment, older equipment. They have a combination of everything. And so for anybody that wants to get into snow clearing, try to get out to a company that actually has decent equipment, has a decent reputation, maintains their equipment, all that stuff, because the company, chances are the company is going to be a pretty like a decent company to work for. If they're willing to spend the money, invest into their equipment and stuff, they're also going to invest that into their people. With that being said, that also gives you a little bit of leniency and stuff like that with the companies when boss man knows I got a stepdaughter and stuff like that, so he knows like I can't do every shift he throws at me, but he knows I will make a solid effort on trying to take as many shifts as I can. Like, see, because I've been with him for a few years now, so there have been times where it was so dang busy where I'd be running for 72 hours straight, just trying to get everything done that he needs done, because some days are worse, like some snowfalls are worse than others, because sometimes you have, say, if it wasn't a holiday and it snows on a Monday, a Sunday, or any other given day of the week, because he has contracts with schools and stuff, for example. Well, those schools need their lots and bus routes and everything opened up, so the kids can go to school and whatever else. And it's also a safety issue too if it's not all cleaned up. So putting in the long hours and a solid effort can be rewarding, and I just say can because, well, it depends on the company you work for. So that being said, yeah, like this guy's really good. I've worked for a couple of good companies. I've stuck with this guy though for year in and year out. Like I say, I think this is like winter 7 now. I've been with this company specifically, and that being said, that the guy clearly likes my work. There's only been one time I've damaged equipment out of all these years, and I think it was like minus 30 or something ridiculous out. And I was scraping a parking lot, actually a school parking lot. Had the bucket curled right over it, scrape her down as best I can. And it was so cold I ended up ripping apart the Z linkage and stuff. So that was actually pretty bad on my part, and because then now he was down on a machine and stuff like that, right? So, but all in all, the couple other guys that phoned me last couple of days to do snow for them too. I'm not even on their call list. They're just friends that needed a good operator or whatever. And I've worked with both those guys too on other jobs over the years. So that's the big thing too, is having like a decent name, especially with these like smaller and mid-sized companies. But long hours, like I say, if you're not a night person, it's definitely not a job to get into. If you like your sleep, definitely not a job to get into. If you're the type of person that can take a phone call, flick that switch, pack up and go to work last minute, and wife's understanding, or girlfriend, if you have either or, then you know what, all this extra money, like I said, you put in the time, you get the rewards type of thing, right? I know for me, all my Christmas, my holidays all paid for, it's all covered, except for 2 days. I forgot to take my holiday pay for it. Whatever, no big deal. But I will make up for 2 days loss of pay for my full-time job. I make it up in doing this for 2 days, and those 2 days I actually 2 2 days of doing this for like 2 12-hour shifts is actually the equivalency of almost 4 days worth of it's almost 4 days worth of pay for my full-time job. So per hour though, I actually make less. It's just you're just putting in more hours, right? And it's also a different tax bracket too. So that's the other thing. You're doing side jobs, side hustles, anything that has a payroll where you're not getting paid cash. Tax man loves you. But depends how much you make. It actually might not be bad. It might not be a bad hit at all. I know for me, the little bit of making snow, it doesn't really hamper my my income tax. So because then too, if you invest it or whatever, that's the other thing. You know, if you invest your money, whatever else, RSPs or whatever you choose to do, it gives you a tax break. So the guys that I know that do a lot of snow, or do it full time, they actually invest a fair bit of it just to get it. Like, one, it's good to have savings, but two, it gets taxman off your case at the same time as well. So yeah, like I say, I've been doing this long enough that, and I run equipment full time, that my body is not liking this anymore. I'm starting to get to that point where I'm liking my sleep too. These late nights are taking their toll on me now. So he says this might be my last season. That's kind of where I'm thinking of going with it, anyways. Because like I say, because I've been working on like saws and stuff like that, just on the side too at home, just a little here, a little there. I take on like mostly just friend stuff and things like that. I've turned down a bunch of other work from like if I'm buying saws from somebody, for example, like, you know, hey, I got this saw that needs blah 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 blah, but I've been turning all that down because trying to find time to do all this stuff is like difficult. And when you take a hobby and turn it into a job, that can lose its appeal. And that's the other thing that I'm worried about if I were to do it, is losing that appeal. Because like, I love doing it as a hobby. It's, you know, it's a great time. Like, like two things. It's something to do and I enjoy it. Things like, come on, get up on that sidewalk more. But like, I enjoy doing it. It's like, I'm not the most like super knowledgeable type of person when it comes to this stuff compared to a lot of other people. Like, it's all a learning curve, but you know, you give me something mechanical and that's my thing. Like, I'll figure it out without an instruction manual, so to speak, right? Like, that's just how I've always been. So come on, do not catch a curve. That's all I'm asking. No, do not catch a curve. Perfect. Right now we might. There's one in there somewhere. Nope, rolled over top. Perfect. And when you nick a curb when you're riding the curbs like that or doing approaches, oh man, you feel it. And if you're off your game, it really hurts when you start hitting one after another. Man, does that hurt. Alright, this fella is not done. Side, no, wait. Oh man, oh man. Okay, what am I missing here? Approach is done. I am. Where'd the other loader go? Here, buddy. We'll let you through. Boom. Got that one out of the way. Those are two types of the vehicle. If you never ran a loader, you got to be careful, especially when you're getting that close to vehicles. If you're trying to clean up windrows, oh man, yeah, traction's not bad tonight, but just be cautious when you're cutting in close to vehicles. You can kiss one with your counterweight, which is a huge boo-boo. When it's really slippery, when you got your bucket down like that and you're trying to steer around stuff, sometimes your bucket and front end will want to kick out and slide, but sometimes they'll just want to keep pushing on you too. And that's where the problem is. If it keeps pushing and you're trying to counter steer it and you over counter steer, and then you risk whacking something or someone with a counterweight and or possibly the bucket, the side of the machine, whatever. Like I see it. There's a lot of quirks to do with this job. I don't mind running close because, like I say, we got lots of traction. It's pretty good. Line that road up about a foot, get that windrow out of there. No traffic coming. Nope, we're good. Okay, keep pushing. Yeah, you definitely got to be on your A game. If you don't have an A game, running equipment is not your should not be your forte or job for that matter. It's yeah, like working at a scrapyard too. Like that one gets interesting. All the customers and equipment and truck drivers and other equipment operators and stuff like that. Like it's a form of being congested, just like doing this is, but on a whole different level. Like I operate a material handler, which is basically in a nutshell an excavator with either a magnet or a grapple. Our magnets are actually, we have them mounted on hubs, so we can swap out, we can carry our magnet anywhere in the grapple with us as we go anywhere, like for the shift, or gotta go to point A, point B, carry your mag with you. But I ran them where they're fixed to the machine as well. Ran both. But yeah, oh man, out of all the years in the scrapyard, there's definitely been some really sketchy things. One time we had a guy come in he had a Ford Ranger, and he had some sort of a weird homemade cargo rack, like almost like a ladder carrier. And he had that mount on his truck from the cab, from the tailgate to the back of the cab. And he had, it was like 2 or 3, I think there were, I want to say 5 or 6 inch wide I-beams on top, but the length, and it went over like from his base, roughly his windshield to in line with his tailgate. And he wanted me to pick it off. I was just like, dude, are you nuts? Like, I will do it, but I'm also notifying the supervisor and the office of what's going on, and if something happens, we are not liable for your decision of wanting this done. Luckily, nothing happened, but it wasn't the point. You know, it's not the point that nothing happened, it's just the risk factor by doing sketchy stuff like that. One of the other times I was on a Volvo, Volvo L120 with a grapple on it, hauling cars out of the back 40, and it was super bad. It was, I can't remember if it was springtime or a wet summer, but it was bad. Everything was soft. And that was when I was feeding the shredder, and or I guess keeping the feed train happy with cars. Oh man, grapple full of cars, throw in reverse because it's super bumpy, it's rutted, it's just plain McNasty. And backing up and rip roaring on the throttle to get these cars out of there. That would be that curb I was talking about. Ouch. Whoever saw that saw it live. It happens. The curb is still in place, thankfully. Yeah, no, that was just that was a wicked ride though. I took that loader and not intentionally, but stood her up on one wheel, on one front wheel. Oh man, talk about a rodeo. And I was boomed up a bit too, so I originally had the machine on the 2 front tires, and trying to back up and did that up on one tire. I think that was about the second time I've ever puckered my butt cheeks riding equipment or running equipment. The other time would have been with a material handler when I'm so used to like pushing equipment, especially where I used to work, pushing stuff to their upper limits and just giving her the beans. I was throwing something, I can't remember what it was, and it was a small track machine. It didn't have a lot of reach, but it also did not have much of a stick and a boom on it, but the carriage was so small. It also, in return with all that, was also a tippy machine. So, oh man. Yeah, that was the second time I've ever puckered my butt cheeks in a machine. But I also got to learn by also puckering your butt cheeks like that is you learn the limits of your equipment, and it also, I don't know, in my opinion, there goes one of the graders. In my opinion, it almost makes you a better operator because you're learning not only the limits, you're also learning like how to stay in control of a situation. Because that's one of the bad things. If you lose control of the situation when you're in a hairy situation running equipment like that, it can turn from bad to worse really quick. From like once you start to panic. So yeah, it's I've done my fair share of braking, done my fair share of rodeoing on equipment. So yeah, mind you, I do miss some of those times. There was a lot of good times. We used to do on midnights and afternoons and midnights. We used to use yard cars for transportation for around the yard and stuff like that. And there used to be a time where we used to do like demo derbies, drag races, like circuit racing, stuff like that. Drifting ones were fun. That got into some sketchy times. When you're whipping around scrap piles and piles of, say, freaking rail and stuff like that, like railway rail. Oh yeah, good time. Me and Buddy were coming. He was driving. We were coming flying around a turn, and we smoked a stack of railway rail with the ass end of this Ford Ranger. Oh, the best part was though the leaf springs were only held on by the front freaking spring mounts. The rear shackles were rusted. Was the shackles were rusted out or the frame was rusted? I can't remember. Oh, and then at that same time, actually, I had a Ford Aerostar. I think it's the Aerostar. The rear-wheel drive minivans. It was the short little chassis with a 4-liter in it, and oh man, drifting that thing was total bomb. You didn't know if you were going to be rolling over on one turn to the next. And yeah, so he had his Ford Ranger and I had that at that time. That was a good time, especially doing our drag races. One of the most pimped cars though I actually had, or two pimped ones. One was, I think it was like a Delta 88 from the 80s, I think. Thing was immaculate. The lady's husband passed away. It was just sitting in the garage or the barn or something. She wanted to scrap it. The air conditioning was still working in it. Like, that was totally cool. Best one though was a Volkswagen, late 80s Volkswagen Golf, Jetta, Wolfensburg edition. I don't know what that meant, but it seemed pretty cool. Then it was flat black, tinted windows. Came in because they couldn't figure out why it wouldn't shift in the gear. 5 minutes later, took it where I got some tools. It was an Allen key or a Torx, I can't remember. Slid the shift ball back in place, tightened it up, and that was my yard car. I actually wanted to take that home, and because some of that stuff we were able to. But unfortunately, the next day somebody went and crushed it on me. I was not happy about that. But it is what it is. One of the old coolest things though that I have seen in a scratch, actually a couple cool things. I just don't know what kind of vehicle the one was. But the other one was the old school military, I I think they're called what are they, like an M6 or something like that. Like the big 6-wheel drive, frickin' the old army trucks. You see a bunch of guys have them all over YouTube and stuff like that. And they look kind of like a 5-ton or something like that. Man, that was another one. I wanted that thing. So I went to go try get authorization to be able to take it. The night the guy brought it in, another guy showed up with his trailer. I don't know where he lived. He lived clearly close enough to work to grab his trailer. Loaded up and took it home. Oh man, I was annoyed. Like, how badass would that be to own? Like I said, I can't remember the model, but like one of those old 6-wheel drive military frickin' trucks. So, yeah, like say at least I never end up getting it, but it is what it is. Another one was an old tow truck, old dually tow truck, probably from what the 60s or something, 50s, 60s. That thing was pretty badass too, but it was sitting on a business's back 40 lot or whatever. It was all like, I won't say rusted all the heck, but it wasn't in the prettiest of shape. It needed lots of love, but oh man. That's what they're doing. Okay. Oh, I'm already ready for bed. I'm done with this. I need to get out of the snow removal. But I am going to cut this loose so I can turn on some tunage. It's already been an hour and 22 minutes. Nice. Yeah, so that's what I think. I think I'm going to call her quits. Get the screen off before somebody sees my screen on and somebody has a Karen moment. But anyways, I'm going to sign out for the night here, and if we get any more lot better action with snow there on the next snowfall, then I might go live again. We'll see. But I'm going to crank my tunes for the night here, and I'm going to sign off. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope everything goes good for everybody. Take care.